Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Measure 2019 Career Mode episode number 65. After missing one episode earlier this week, thanks to my lovely case of pneumonia, we're back at it, but again in limited capacity at this point. Just not much going on with my lungs that is enjoyable. So Evenepoel in 5th place, McNulty himself still in the top 10, even Gino Mater still in the top 15 as we enter stage 13. But of course, we're getting into the real stages, the challenging stages that will decide this tour. So much yet to happen. And stage 13, you can see here, not the biggest climbing stage by any means, but there will be riders dropped, quite a few of them. First half of the stage, though, nothing doing, so I'll bypass that. First two climbs of the day are behind us. For a while, Gino Mater, after a crash, was behind us. We've got quite a bit of climbing left to go. In terms of categorization, well, it's not the big ones. It's a pretty straightforward, easy day. 5 classified climbs left, 6 climbs left to go, and this is maybe the steepest of all of them right now, though I think the category 2 at the end is getting that as much out of pace as anything else. 5 kilometers in length, 7% average gradient. That is a decent little climb, and you can already see the damage starting to get done. In fact, even Evenepoel, McNulty are feeling it a bit. We have lost a few guys, haven't we? No. They're just they're right there. Okay. So everybody made it through the first climb, though you can see Garrison, Narvaez, not a lot left for them, and at the moment anyway, we're seeing splits in the peloton. I think most of that will come back together, but some riders off the back may not make it back on, and each climb will increase that effect a little bit further, especially having this climb right there back to back with the other one. Let's see how many guys get dropped this time. We're down to 130 now. Garrison is going backwards. Narvaez is right at his edge, but we're also near the top of the climb. Garrison, anyway, has 1K to go to the top, so he might get dropped before we hit the peak. Narvaez, I think he's got a better chance. He's much further along. And this is pretty heavily forested, so let's see what's going on. And yes! So, prediction correct. Garrison is dropped before the top. Meanwhile, Narvaez, well, he's okay. So let's get you back up there with McNulty and then Felci. Actually, you know what? Felci, why don't you take Evenepoel and Narvaez back with McNulty, which is who you had anyway. Alright, so Garrison is out the back. That leaves me with 6. 93 in the peloton. Narvaez just about back there. The next climb, it's one climb by itself. I think there's a good chance that we will be fine through there. However, James Mather, we need some water, and this could hurt because we're getting pretty close to this climb. Come on, hand up. There we go. And before the climb, he's recovered a lot of this. Narvaez, what's going on, buddy? Already? We just hit the climb. Okay, the pace is really hot. 55 left in the peloton, and one Narvaez out the back. Mather has made it to the rest of the guys, but he's got nothing left. He got Gino Mater, water, and that's it. Okay, that did not go according to plan, and somebody else is going to have to get water here in just a moment as we're about to lose Mather. It's 2K to the top. He's not going to make it 2K. In fact, he's already been distanced 39 riders now. Oh, shoot, Felchi too, huh? Dang. I did not expect this climb to cause this many riders to get dropped. 400 meters from the top. Mater, go ahead and get water. And McNulty, protect Evenepoel in the short term. $47K to go. This will be the last time we have to get water, at least. Shame Mather wasn't able to get the job done on that. I really thought those guys would get through this climb. I thought there would be enough time to recover. The pace wouldn't be that bad yet. The 3 in a row was going to be the one that destroyed the full field. But just 34 riders at this point, with still 45K to go, is pretty massive. That's quite a few. McNulty. Come on, dude. Mater's taken that long to get water that McNulty went back and got water himself. Mater still hasn't gotten water to Evenepoel. There you go. There you go. McNulty's nearly done with it. Look how much less time it took McNulty to go get water than it took Gino Mater. It still really annoys me sometimes that guys are right there, a bike length behind their man, and they still can't even get around them and finish the job. You can see just how spread out the field is as some of the riders are still going over the top of that last peak, which we passed ages ago. Alright, Gino Mater is in trouble. A lot of trouble. And the peloton is getting smaller, so there are riders going out the back, so there's still a lot of pace in Ineos's push here at the front of this group. So Ineos really trying to shatter the field today, and they have done just that. This peloton is, looks like, on the verge of being down to about 15-20. So begins our triple set of climbs, or just about anyway. Oh, and now they sit up. That's an odd one. $2.6K, 9%. It's pretty steep. But if Mater's hanging on, then I don't need to use McNulty's gel just yet. Now Mater's going to fall into some trouble again. But it's only 1K to go to the top. There's the top. Okay, Mater's dropped. But only just. He actually might remake contact. Okay, McNulty's actually recovering instead of running into trouble. Evenepoel, let's turn you up a little bit to hang on here. Ulysses attacking. Oh gosh, look at that big old group catching back up with 3 Ineos riders. That'll turn the screw at the end if they catch up, and they do. That's 40 now. Okay, 7K to the top of this next climb. McNulty, let's go ahead and use his gel. What just happened? The heck? That was so weird that it just did that all of a sudden. Why is McNulty back here and Evenepoel suddenly up there? Game? Oh, game. You are odd sometimes. Look at all this wasted energy for McNulty to try to protect Evenepoel. They were right next to each other. I was looking up when the split happened, so I wasn't looking at the middle of the screen, but he was right there moments ago. Alright, McNulty back into protection. Mater is dropped, along with quite a few other guys that I'm surprised are still here, but now there's a few names that we're seeing. Like Froome going out the back. Chavez going out. Williams looks like he's about to get dropped. Just 25 left. Okay, here we go. Lopez going for the attack. 1.8.
Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace up front. Only 10 kilometers left.
Alright, we got 5 and 5. There's your top 10, and how we lost that one. Well, that's a little bit of a shame, but McNulty in the next group.
5 kilometers remaining.
You know what? You're just gonna stay here. Can we sprint off of these guys and do something? No. Just trying to make contact.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
And we never made contact. In fact, the gap got bigger. Oh, I'm not a good downhill. No wonder. So we lose a few seconds. That's really unfortunate that we lost a few seconds. And no wonder we got out-sprinted there at the end. Lopez, Bernal, Landa, Dumoulin, Yates, Sagan, Carapaz, Nibali, and myself. And then Poles, Bevan. So we do open up gaps to guys like Quintana, Poles, Pino, Sosa, Sivakov, Uran, Adam Yates, all losing time. McNulty crossed the line 20th. This is a strange one that the gap kind of just opened. I saw it before those guys had gotten off the front and we were already in that chase mode, but for whatever reason, gap persisted. And then we were never able to bring it back ourselves. No help. Even when I tried to go relay, 99, nobody wanted to relay with me. Nothing wrong with the result on the stage. I mean, a few seconds to those guys at the front. I don't want to lose those few seconds, but it wasn't a big deal. It was more about opening gaps behind us, which we did. I'm surprised there was really gaps at all. Oh, come on. And then there's no gap behind us. F and F this game. There was a massive gap. There was like 30, 40 seconds behind us. But no. They're going to give all of those guys the same time. But we're not going to get the same time to these guys that we were, 2 seconds behind the whole way. And yep. F and F this game, and that hole we're gonna just screw you anytime, every time, all the time. Dumoulin, Yates, Lopez, Carapaz, and then the gap now even slightly bigger. And Bernal now just 3 seconds behind us, as he's the only one who gained time and nobody lost time. So the stage that had what looked like no damage, just about 18 seconds, They give not only more of a gap than that, they don't give us the gap that we had behind. Yep. Phillipson, let's see if he can go out and get the job done in another stage here. Phillipson takes third. Ackerman took it to the win. I don't see how this game does that to me so often. You do luck out every once in a while. Every once in a while where you think you've been gapped, it doesn't give it to you. It does work both ways. I thought McNulty was gapped. He didn't get gapped. But I wasn't worried about him getting gapped. I don't know. Maybe that's just your refereeing bias that we always have, right? You're watching your team play and you're screaming at the refs about the calls. Meanwhile, somebody else is watching the same game you're watching, and they support the other team, and they're screaming at the refs in the exact same manner that you are. Happens all the time. We see what we want to see with our eyes, and you see that light contact on the arm, and you're like, where's the foul? Meanwhile, your guy just takes the other man out, and you're like, I don't see anything. I do try to be objective in that. I actually did do the job of a referee for a number of years. It was basketball, and lasted for 5 of my 6 years in college. I was reffing basketball. Now I coach it, but it was my introduction in that particular sport. Big climbing day, very big climbing day, and it's a long one, 198 kilometers, so a roughly 200k stage with 4 monster climbs. Today, we'll separate the men from the boys. Well, it's all men out here, but it'll separate the climbers from everybody else, won't it? We've got a little bit of time till the first... Are you kidding me? So Evenepoel yesterday was on a +4. And then that random thing happens. Today, Junior, I need you today. And no, he's a -1 today.
Counter-attack by Alberto Becciol.
Switch him off. I need a little bit better climber like Mather supporting Evenepoel. He's gonna really need that support today. This is gonna be a monster. We're gonna have huge time gaps today.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Before we even start that final climb, I would be surprised if there's more than about 10 riders. What? Mather, you are going forward, right? You realize that it's effort up. I know it's only a 70, but you're supposed to go forward, not backwards. You know, like Gino Mater, who's cruised right on by you from nowhere near. First 4 riders, 7 riders already out front.
There's now more than a minute between them. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
Anyway, my point was, I think we kind of see through just the lens that we have, right? Game goes both ways with it. It's just frustrating that it always feels like it affects me. And I know that there are times that it's the other way around. Apparently I need to set this sooner rather than later because we're just struggling here. Felchi's still going forward. Narvaez still going forward. Felchi going backwards again. And we're just getting started. And already there's so much fatigue. Alright, Narvaez has finally got up there. And I'm going to give him to Gino Mater. Felchi finally makes it on board. Everybody's at an 85. I think that's adequate. 173k to go. Let's see. Kilometer 66. I guess we'll get water right at the top. Speaking of top, we'll take the top-down view from the helicopter as we speed things up for a little bit. Looks like we are settling down as a peloton a bit. Everybody resting for now. 14 riders have a 4-minute gap already. Now going on 5. So Felchi's looking pretty good today. Mater's looking pretty decent. Mather's looking pretty good. McNulty's okay. It's really just Evenepoel, and Narvaez, but here it is. 10.4k, 7%, 7.5. It's a pretty big climb. And yes, here's that need for some water. But we'll get it right before the top. 5k to go. Attacks beginning in the breakaway. Okay. Falls flat here. Levels off for a little bit before we go up again. Okay, Garrison, it's 1.9. Let's go ahead and start dropping back to get the water. Okay, finally got the water. Return. Got it. Good. Somebody, why do we have Mater way the heck behind? Why is Mater at the complete back? Climb number 1 done, and yes, there are definitely riders dropped already. We have 106 left in the peloton, but I got my entire team up and over. 22k to go to the top of this one, and we'll once again have to focus on getting water right away. It's KM 114. It's a little shorter than 60k this time.
Radio Tour has announced a flat tire for a rider.
Looks like we'll probably just right at the top of each climb take care of water. Narvaez, definitely not fully recovered. Garrison, not fully recovered. Mater, I don't know what the heck happened with Mater on that last climb. It was not... Yeah, 85 is blinking red, isn't it? But this is some pretty big climbing. Let's push it up just slightly. I can't have Mater dropping all the way to the back like that. I mean, he was so close to getting dropped. Garrison, Narvaez... So just the second climb of the day, and the casualties list is going up considerably quickly. It's down to just 48 in the peloton. Mather is about to get dropped, even though he's having himself a nice day in the saddle. It's not that nice. It's a 14k climb at 7.5%. This is big. This is a lot bigger than that last one. Mather's hanging on, but just barely. And now he's dropped as well. Gino Mater on the edge. We need to bring this down. This is serious. I mean, he's in 18th overall, and there's still 40 riders ahead of him. I'd like Felchi to make it here.
And some riders are exploiting this opportunity to attack.
Told you this was going to be huge gaps today. Mater's back on. Pace is lifted. Apparently they did enough damage for one climb already. This is good if Mater can... Oh! If Mater can make it, he's going to get back in contact, but it's going to be hard. Alright, let's switch this up now. Mater, go ahead and get water.
So this is the last third of the race. Anyone who is gunning for victory has got to make a move fairly soon.
Hey, they're 3 minutes behind. He's not that far back, but far enough. Still 70K to go on the stage. There you go.
Those guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today.
Alright, so Mater recovering fairly well now. Nice long descent. So we're at an 8.5 minute gap to the front of the field. Wow, Wout van Aert. Way out the back. What the heck? I could see massive amounts of time cuts. Quite a few withdrawals that way. Next climb, shorter, 10K, 7%. Much steeper at the end. Blinking red at an 87, huh? So the pace is there. And speaking of the pace, Mater, Felchi. I am running ×2 speed here, but man, you can feel it even with the ×2 speed that we are really pushing tempo. Mater already got dropped. And now Felchi.
Now the guys up front are asking serious questions of the riders in the rear.
Felchi's going out.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
Attack by Dan Martin.
We need his gel now. I should be having him protect Evenepoel with whatever he's got left. I'm hoping he's going to make it. It's still 2K to go to the top of this one. And it's very much a steep 2K. But so much for the big 8.5 minute gap. Just like that, it's down to 4. So I do think we are going to get our winner out of this group. Just 20 left in this group. I was saying it would be a small group by the time we hit the top of this climb. So you can see Felchi and Mater definitely further back down the road. Let's see if there's any big names. Nick Egg, Richie Port, Mark Hershey, Chavez. There's Froome well down the order. Pino, Pozzovivo, Dunbar out the back. McNulty about to get dropped from this group. He's still in 9th. 400 meters. He might make it. He might make it. Just hope the acceleration over the top here doesn't do him in, because if he stays put in the group, he'll recover. Come on, you're right on the edge. He's still here, still in the group. McNulty survives for now. 20 left. Ron Carapaz here in the back. Sosa, Jack Haig, Quintana, Landa, it's Adam Yates, I think. Or is that Simon? Pogacar. There's Demuon, Nibali, Lopez, Shockman, Enrique Mas, Simon, Yates, Garrett Thomas, Sivakov, Bernal, and Wout Poels. Very much the elite group left. You would look at those names and look at Evenepoel and McNulty still being here in real life and go, oh yeah, that's a good ride for those two. Now remaining off the front of us, Caruso, Bardet, Rosskopf, Verona, Wellens, Toynes, Martin, and Bilbao in the lead through the sprint point. Speaking of, we're not that far from it. You can see it. It's back out to 6 minutes, but that does not assure victory. But we're not chasing that hard. Movistar and Ineos, the only ones with any power left in terms of numbers. And that's why those are the guys working at the front. A lot of teams have no presence already. Oh shoot, water. Multi quickly. Get water quickly. Forgot to get it over the top of this climb. Wow, McNulty wasted a fair amount of energy doing that. 18.5K, 6.5%. The obese climb, and McNulty is going to be the first one going out the back. Bardet also out the back. Schockman about to get dropped. Rosskopf is dropped, but Rosskopf was from the break. Sosa looking iffy at the back of the group. Bernal leading at the front. $11K to go. Make sure we use our gel at the right time. Gap's already down to 2.5 minutes, but it's coming back out again. Nobody wanting to lead right now. Three and a half minutes. Bernal.
Counter-attack by Landa.
I don't want to be the one alone. I'm waiting for somebody else's acceleration here to work on pulling him back. I'm only 3 seconds ahead of him. Technically, I should be the one covering it, but no, he's a threat to the front runners.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
7%, 7.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling
That's what happens when you're sick. Lopez now going to the front. Carapaz going front. Gel time. Still 7K to go. And still 17 of us. McNulty's like 5 minutes back now. Here's where our good standing is going to fade quite a bit. We're going out the back. 13 ahead of us. If I can get back on with these guys at least. And I do. Just 5K to go though. This is going to be a massive gap. It's not good. 7 riders ahead, 1 in between. Caruso, Moss, Quintana, Verona, Wellens, Toynes. So we kind of caught up with the remnants of the break. And I'm losing some ground here. This is where I needed that +4 massively today. I'm not that strong of a climber. This is where we were going to do the best with this race that we could. It's 12 riders ahead. Caruso's still there. And the 8 even further ahead. 3.5K. It's now a group of 6. I'm starting to get just a little bit of recovery, but the gaps are getting bigger. It's 2.5 minutes to those 8 riders at the front. So I'm going to lose time. I'm going to lose positions here. McNulty's nowhere near. Garrison and Narvaez are 24 minutes behind. Run in this group now. Coming back on Caruso a little bit. And actually, really, all four of them. Which would leave us just 8 ahead. Which would still have me in a position for a top 10. So I wouldn't be sliding out of the top 10, I don't think, to Moulin. How many times have I said that Dumoulin never wins climbs? Especially climbs like this. Lopez, Carapaz, Bernal, Landa, all of them much better climbers than Dumoulin. But not today, not on this game. Simon Yates, Adam Yates, 6 and 7. Bilbao 8. That was the that first 8. Bilbao, the last man from the break, with them, so that's good for me because that doesn't hurt in the standings. Him being up there, so that's 7 to worry about. Now it's Quintana, Moss, Nibali, Caruso. I'm gonna get 13th on the stage, and we can effectively call that 12th. It's a small gap to those other guys in this group. Smaller gap, 5 minutes though. Wow, does that time go fast? I told you there was going to be huge gaps today. It was just Ron and I at the end. We dropped the others. Sivakov. This is where the race is really going to start to take its turn. Right here today. When we take a look at these standings here in just a moment, we'll see just how different this race will now be. McNulty finishes 27th. Mater 51st, so we are sliding back as a team. We didn't have a bad stage today. We were just finally exposed for being what we were. Frauds in the top 15. That's what we were. Frauds. Much bigger names, much bigger profiles, much better climbers out here besides us. We've just worked hard to be where we were this far and finally exposed, but just missing the top 10 in terms of standings. I wasn't that far. I was hoping Evenepoel could at least be in that second group, and he was not far behind him. But a couple more stages like this, and we're gonna lose some serious time in positions, and that's the nature of the beast. That was a hard stage. And my guys just aren't there. And if Evenepoel had the +4, he definitely could have finished a bit higher. And that was the thing that I was talking about. That last stage, I wasn't worried about that last stage. And even if he had been dropped, it would have been a small gap. Oh, by the way, we had that small gap, didn't we? 20 seconds. I wasn't worried about those 20 seconds. I was worried about a big one like this. 5:13 behind is where we were. And when we were just behind Caruso and Nibali, almost a minute and a half to those guys. That opened up pretty quick. Bilbao was dropped at 2:16. But that's definitely some big time gaps. And us not quite on the right side of that. So, here's the damage. Dumoulin out climbing everyone. Right. Lopez, 51. Sorry, I really do not care for Tom Dumoulin, and I think that he is massively overrated on this game. I don't think he is that good of a climber. He would have been in the He would have been in the first group. He would have been in those 8 riders. And my honest assessment, where I feel he would have been climbing with those 8 guys. But he would have been dropped. He would have ridden in with Adam Yates a minute down, or maybe, just maybe, 35 seconds down, just hanging on to Simon Yates' wheel. That's how he is as a climber. He's just there in the last group, and always at the back end of it, just, huffing and puffing and just surviving. He's never going to go ride those guys off his wheel, ever. He's a good climber. It takes a very good climber to be in that group. But he's not going to beat those guys. Not a chance. Not one of them. Even Bilbao. Well, okay, yeah, he would have beaten Bilbao, but not the rest of them. I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, in my mind, I am just dead certain about that Tom Dumoulin is just, he's the guy who really should have been with this group, but he fights and he would have just stayed maybe with that group in real life. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. And I know many of you do not, but that's how I see it. Anyway, here's the damage. Still in the top 10. That's not bad. We're in 7th. Can't handle too many of those stages, though. Too many of those, and we will be out of the top 10. So, Dumoulin leads. Lopez, less than a minute behind. Simon Yates, a minute 07. Carapaz is a minute 37, so there's the big gap. I've slid down. Bernal, I was ahead of him by 3 seconds. That's how big the turnaround is. Landa, I'm exactly 1 minute ahead of Quintana. Adam Yates is a little over a minute behind, and then a big gap to Uran in 13. McNulty's still 14th for him, so that's a good position. Mater down to 21st. But still, Remco Evenepoel, young man here. I've lost the under 25s jersey to Bernal, but I mean, come on, look at that. This deep into La Vuelta, a massive stage like that, and the 20-year-old stage racer is hanging on relatively well. Okay, that result could have been better, but honestly, that was to be expected. But look at this. I mean, we are all over this under 25s competition. Unfortunate that Bernal is here to take that away from us, because otherwise we'd have an 8-minute lead over Moss. And we are still 4th as a team. Still 4th as a team. So, I'll take it. It's a good showing. I'm not hanging my head after that one. 7 stages to go. We are 2/3 of the way. And there's more to come. This one's not as bad. It's just 3 climbs. Just 117k. A little climb. A medium climb. And a big climb. It's your tall. It's your grande. It's your venti. Nothing to worry about on 16. 17 is very punchy. It will have time gaps, but small gaps at the end. 18, nothing to worry about. 19, time trial, good chance to earn back a little time. And 20, there's another big decisive one. And then 21. So, we have another big decisive one on 20. 19 is going to be a good thing for us. Well, a little bit to worry about on 15, but it's 1 climb, so it's going to be much smaller gaps. It was 14. 14 was probably going to be the most decisive stage of this entire race. We're still in 7th. We still have a couple to worry about, but we also have things that could help us along the way. So, still happy with our position. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for hanging with me this week while I've had my lovely, lovely pneumonia, and I'm still at record one per day kind of a thing. I'm coughing a bit less, but right now it's how I feel, how I feel inside, and what I'm capable of doing there. Also, looks like the Tour of Britain is about to get underway, but I've got so much going on that I will not be focusing my attention on the Tour of Britain, even if it's a fun one, even if Jasper Philipsen could be among the favorites. Could be. See, it depends who all is there and what climbs they have included, but I think he's capable of a climber to get through them, not lose time, and get there. That's if I was managing it, though, and I'm not, so, hey. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.